Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This video is my super condensed summary of the juiciest details of the patch 5.5 live letter. As a heads up, if you want the details, the full live letter is available online, as are the patch 5.5 trailers. I know many of us in the community want the details quickly during a 10-minute break, and I am honestly with you on that one. Timestamps are also in the description if you want to skip ahead or find a specific topic. So patch 5.5 is named Death Unto Dawn. This patch 5.5 will be divided into two distinct parts. The first part launches on April 13th, and the second part is planned to release late in May after the Fan Fest has occurred. This is because the Fan Fest is going to reveal key story elements and key reveals that are going to lead us into the Endwalker expansion. Speaking of the story in Endwalker, the 5.5 is going to be bringing the standard main story quest expansion, but that second part division is going to be after the Fan Fest, and so Endwalker expansion is going to be what that story is going to segue us into. The dungeon that is accompanying this is called Pagelthan, which has been announced before, which seems to be an Amalja-themed dungeon. The final chapter of the Chronicles of a New Era for Shadowbringers will be concluded with the patch 5.5's release, which will include the launch of the Cloud Deck trial, which will have the extreme version alongside it. This is going to give you the ability to farm the Diamond Quiver, which likewise I am extremely looking forward to farming this fight. And remember that we get this insane mechanical dragon if we have all of the different dragon mounts from this expansion, and so I know what I'm going to be farming. Yorha Dark Apocalypse's third part, our Alliance raid series for Shadowbringers, is being launched with 5.5. This will be called the Tower at Paradigm's Breach. This will include, as expected, many new fights such as this Jack Shade boss and rewards like Nier-inspired armors. Job balance adjustments will be done with 5.5 as is standard with any patch, but the main development effort for larger changes, such as core gameplay loop changes like we've seen with the Summoner and Monk now, are going to be not such a thing for 5.5. The devs are really focused on bringing the class changes and really revamping the classes for the Endwalker expansion, so any changes that we do see will be smaller, with only a few small percentage values. However, the exact details, as always, will be released on the actual patch notes when patch 5.5 is launched. In terms of PvP, the Feast Season 18 ends and Season 19 will begin. Relic Hunters rejoice as patch 5.55 will bring the updates for the Shadowbringers Relic Weapons Saves the Queen. This will include a brand new map called Zandnor, and which will include brand new skirmishes, critical engagements, and a metal cap raised to 25. However, progress will exist beyond 25, which will let you boost the power of your character if you so desire. That being said, this new Relic expansion will allow you to further upgrade your Relic weapon, and is going to land around a similar strength as the Savage weapons, with freedom in substats as Relic weapons always do near the end of the expansion. There is a plan, however, to make it so that the first weapon will require a decent grind. However, after that first weapon, you're only going to need to do the last step for any other weapons, like your second, third, fourth, and so on weapons are only going to require the last step. Important to say is that there will be some notable changes to prior content, such as scaling changes to skirmishes and critical engagements depending on the amount of players there. Availability of instances such as Castrum Lakizatori is going to be modified. DR Savage is going to have modifications made to allow 24 players, and just general quality of life updates to really make it so that people can really enjoy the Relic grind. There will be the addition of the brand new Unreal trial of Leviathan Unreal for 5.5. Yay, that... I fear no primal, but this fish I fear. For 5.5, crafters and gatherers have definitely not been left out of it. More challenging expert recipes will be added into the game. Completing these recipes will allow you to unlock shiny crafter weapons, even more shinies. So, gosh, I'm gonna have to do them because shinies. Quality of life upgrades are going to be added into the game for gatherers, which is going to include things like the gathering log will now show you the locations of particular reagents to be gathered, and a list of fish that will be able to be released at a particular fishing hole will also be added into the game as well. The Ishgard Firmament has not been forgotten, and the Firmament will now hold a Skyrise celebration event since the Firmament has been remade. There are going to be special activities there called feats, and feats will happen all on one particular day, and then take a 2-day break. But on that one day of feats, there are gonna be a feats handled every 2 hours. So 24 divided by 2 is gonna be 12. So you're gonna get 12 feats in one single day, and that's only gonna be on one day. And then I guess like the people need to take like a 2-day rest, and then they throw like a day of 12 feats again. But what are feats? These are specifically events for crafters and gatherers similar to fates that you can allow yourself to earn rewards for participating in them. Custom deliveries also have been added onto the list, and there's going to be the addition of a new custom delivery client, the Count Charlemagne de Derriere. Housing is getting an absolute plethora of new items that range all the way from this absolutely stunning exterior with exterior items. I know that it's like apparently blacksmith themed. I don't care, I'm gonna have it. And that you also have a host of brand new interior items, including probably one of the most in-demand items ever, windows. Okay, not literally windows, but I'm actually pretty thrilled. I'm gonna take about 90 of these TVs, and sadly, it's not a window, but we are gonna be getting like a visually moving TV element that's gonna be added where you can simulate a window, and honestly, yeah, I'm gonna take about 90. Triple Triad enthusiasts rejoice because our in-game card game is going to be updated. We're gonna have large changes such as 4-star cards are gonna have different rule sets for adding them into decks. Drop rates of cards will be modified so that some harder to obtain cards will now be significantly easier to obtain, and that obtaining all of the Triple Triad cards will actually unlock a very special reward with patch 5.55. Although what exactly is that, we don't know yet. But I am actually looking forward to it. I'm hoping that it's something crazy for amount. So now is time for me to try and go over all of the smaller changes that I couldn't really lump into a category that are coming with 5.5, so strap in because there are actually a ton. So the first thing is brand new flashy expensive golden mounts will be added that are obtainable with Gil, making me completely regret my spending habits. There's going to be addition of new 40s or 50s, I'm not a historian, I'm sorry, but they are like 40s or 50s inspired glamour sets that are going to be added, although the source has not currently been announced. It is probably from crafting or Ishgard, I'd speculate. Explore mode will be expanded upon to include level 70 dungeons in 5.5. Other features include that you can now take instruments into the dungeons in Explore mode, and that you can turn on or off level sync in Explore mode depending on what your particular needs are. Ocean fishing will have updated indicators for bonuses. There will be a brand new instrument added to the game for the Bard's performance feature. There will be expanded reward selection for the gold saucer. An actually insanely huge change for me personally is that blue mages will now allow you to save hotbar slots, and as someone who has played so many variants of the blue mage skills, this is actually one of the most exciting changes for me. And honestly, I changed my hotbars around so much that this quality of life change is huge. Understatement. Anyone who has tried to reclaim an achievement in the past knows that we have to go to a very specific NPC in Gridania to reclaim the rewards, and that is going to, after all these years, actually change where we can now accept achievement rewards from the achievement menu itself. The PlayStation 5 version beta is launching on April 13th alongside patch 5.5. The PS5 version will include high-resolution assets, 4K display compatibility, faster loading times, and DualSense haptic feedback, 3D audio support, and more trophies. Which I am assuming that those are like PS5 specific trophies, like achievements. Should don't know. Alongside with the PS5 updates, there will be updates to increase the loading time speed on all platforms, which are totally going to include PC, as well as the high-resolution UI will be an option added to the Windows version. The collision detection will be improved in the game in an effort to future-proof the game, as the collision algorithms apparently were from the super old legacy original Final Fantasy XIV code, and this is going to result in gameplay improvements for things like dodging AoEs, and such is my guess. Like if you have ever been like out of an AoE, but you still get hit by an AoE, like me last night in Raid, yeah, I think that that's gonna help that a lot. I think though that the bigger takeaway from this that I actually want to end this video on is just that above anything, like all else, that the development team is really declaring their support for Final Fantasy XIV in the long term and is clearly ironclad in their resolve. Just seeing this alongside the number change that they talked about in the showcase before and everything else, it just speaks extremely large volumes to me about the future and longevity of Final Fantasy XIV and just the dedication of the developers. And I thought that this was actually one of the best takeaway points possible, and I really want to end this video on this note because I think above any other specific change, this makes me really happy. Anyhow, that is all for this video. I'm trying to keep it short, so I'm just going to cut it off here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and yeah, let me know in the comment section what you're most excited for. Take care and stay safe.